You know, I really don't have regrets. I am a person that says, you know, as soon as you look back in your history and you come up with something that you feel like you want to change, something else has to change. Disappointment to me, to win, you got to lose. To be successful, you got to have something that's not successful. To be happy, you got to have disappointment. So I think all of those things have evolved and happened to make me who I am and understand the benefits and the privileges I have for being who I am, you know, and not to wear it on my sleeve, be very humble about it. That's one thing my parents taught me very well is, you know, don't wear your reputation, don't wear your accolades, don't wear your, you know, your personality on your sleeve. Let it happen, let it be you. It is who you are. Don't hide from it, but don't wear it and rub it in people's faces. So I say that to understand that, you know, it is what it is. You know, I don't wear it, I don't showcase it, I don't rub it in other people's faces. Someone else's opinion. If you ask me, I could never give you an opinion about things like that, because as an athlete, all you want to do is be the best athlete. When I came out of college, obviously I was in college for 3 years. Coach Smith, my parents taught me, you know, right from wrong, taught me to understand and listen and learn. And then I got with an agent that basically educated me about the positions that I was in, how to, you know, to manage my own, you know, my personalities, you know, the business aspect, how that translates into, you know, in the business world, things of that nature. To a point now, I can do a lot of those things on my own. It's an education. You know, I lived an education. I went through an education based on, you know, how my life was, you know, was lived. It takes a lot of work, you know, which I'm not afraid of. It takes a lot of, you know, forwardly thinking, seeing good talent, nurturing new talent, developing new talent. One of the biggest issues we do have is we're not a Chicago, we're not a LA. So you have to create a culture, a winning culture, and you gotta be able to connect that basketball team to the support system within that community. One of the biggest reasons why I bought the team initially, but I felt the team was under preserved, you know, under operated because they were not connected to the community. I always wanted to be connected to basketball because my love is always going to be towards basketball. And the best way that I think I can pass on the knowledge that I have for the game of basketball to tomorrow's players is through ownership. You know, being able to, you know, to earn the respect of the players, be able to communicate with the players to give them the understanding of what it takes to play in the league and to excel within the league. So initially when I got out of basketball in 2003, actually I got out in 1998, you know, when the team was dismantled. I really didn't know what I was going to do in terms of ownership. So I looked at, and I was presented an opportunity to be a part of a ownership in Washington from a general manager standpoint. And with that came an education of understanding what it took. So quite naturally, you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna understand you're gonna make mistakes. The most important thing about making mistakes is being able to learn from them and not be able to duplicate the same mistake. For a person like myself who live in the spotlight and is so critical, you know, from people all the time in terms of what I do, what I say, you know, where I go, the thing he's always said, take a pause before you make a decision and say, what if? And the purpose for saying what if is that whatever decision you make, always either gonna have consequences, either pros and cons. Nope. And not that I live in a box to where I'm afraid to do things. I know that, you know, as my father says, the what if comment is to be able to deal with the consequences of what decisions you make. And you think about that. If you think about the consequences, pro or con, you make the right decisions that you feel is the right decision. Now, all the decisions I made, other people may viewed to be not the right decisions from their perspective. But for me to go play baseball, and everybody says, oh, it was a failed opportunity to play baseball. You know, that's what they think. For me, it was the best thing that could have happened for me because it allowed me to go back to the game with a stronger passion. At the same time, I was able to understand the love that these minor league baseball players have, making $1,500 a month. $1,500 a month, which is nothing. But for them, it was big. To me, to see that helped me put things in perspective, to understand the platform that I was on in '93, that when I went back to it in '95 and '96, I appreciated it even greater. So when we won those championships and we went through those things mattered to me far greater than what I did in '91, '92, '93. People don't see that, and people will never understand that to be success. You know, all they think about, well, he batted .202, you know, and he struck out a certain number of times. Yeah, okay. You know, but the effort was there, and the learning curve and the passion was there that has transcended not just to me, but to other people who are afraid to do things because they're worried about the perception that may come from other places. To me, that's more gratifying than anything, you know. So that's the things that my father and my mother instilled in me. Take a negative and turn it into a positive. Don't be afraid to fail. Like any father, I just want to see my kids successful. I've endured, or I've gone through so much of good things. You know, there's very few bad things, but you know, bad things make you better. But I don't need anything else to suffice my life. You know, my dedication to the game of basketball, unwaveringly, you know, dedication day in and day out, and how I hold being the leader of the team, being the one that's been there for the longest. I hold everybody else accountable for the success of what happened at the end of the year. And people may look at it and, you know, they're gonna get an honest understanding for what winning is about, you know, what leadership is about, what passion, drive. Now, you know, players may look at it and say, well, God, it was really tough. But when you think about what happened after us winning, you know, the contracts that, you know, other guys got, the memories that everybody got, the championship, blah, 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 it's much more gratifying. If you love something, your agenda is to be successful and to win, it's a certain price you have to pay, and it's a certain accountability you have to hold.
Okay,